When you think of golf's most sensational players, you picture fist pumps, swagger, maybe even some drama. But what if I told you there's one rising star who does none of that? In fact, when he's focused on his game, he barely even blinks. While the world was busy chasing louder stars, a quiet Swede was perfecting the most efficient swing golf has seen in years. He's calm, quiet, and machine-like on the course. Ludvig Aberg doesn't show much emotion, but shot after shot, he breaks opponents down with eerie precision. That's why they call him the silent assassin, because in a game full of noise, he's found a way to dominate without saying a word. Ludvig Aberg was born in 1999 in Eslöv, a quiet town in southern Sweden. It wasn't the kind of place where golf dreams usually start, let alone take over the world stage. He wasn't born into golf royalty either. But his father, Johan Aberg, was a passionate weekend golfer who saw something special early on. When Ludvig was just a kid, Johan would bring him to the local course, not with pressure, but with a plan. "If you stay another hour," Johan would say, "you'll get an ice cream." And it worked. Hour after hour, day after day, Ludvig stayed. And he didn't just play like a kid, he paid attention. Even at 8 or 9 years old, he had this intensity about him. He wasn't just hitting balls, he was absorbing everything around him. He had one older sister, and while the rest of the family lived a more traditional small-town life, Ludvig's world started revolving around numbers, swings, and golf greens. By the time he was 13, the signs were unmistakable. This wasn't just a kid who liked golf. This kid saw the game through a very different lens. Looking back now, it's wild to think. One of golf's most polished modern players started out in a country that's not particularly known for golf. Bribed to keep practicing with a cone of ice cream. When Ludvig was just 15, he earned a spot at Filbornaskolan, a sports-focused boarding school in Helsingborg, Sweden, known for producing elite athletes like Maja Stark and Lynn Grant. There, he swapped casual play for a rigorous schedule. It was also where he met the coach who would guide his career for years to come. Ludvig would later say, "It laid the foundation for my career, and I'm forever going to be grateful for that." By 2019, after wins like the Swedish Teen Tour Order of Merit and strong performances at events like the European Amateur Team Championship, Ludvig made the biggest leap of his life, heading to Texas Tech University on a golf scholarship. The United States meant louder crowds, tougher competition, and pressure unlike anything he'd ever faced. But instead of rattling him, the pressure redefined him. Under coach Greg Sands, he flourished. In 2022, he won the Ben Hogan Award, given annually to the top college-level golfer in the U.S. Then, the next year, he did it again, becoming only the second player ever to win it twice. This was far more than just a trophy. Back-to-back Hogan Awards signified his leap, from promising amateur to serious title contender. Ludvig also held the #1 spot in the World Amateur Golf Ranking for 29 weeks, and he finished #1 in the PGA Tour University standings, earning a PGA Tour card directly to the pro ranks, no Q school required. Each of these achievements brought new pressure, but Ludvig handled it all with the same unshakable focus that's now become his signature. He never lost his composure. He just kept doing what he does best, executing. His college coach, Greg Sands, said it best. Just how calm he is under pressure, how he handles the moments. Inside, I know he's excited and nervous like everyone else, but he really handles those things well and focuses on his execution. Ludvig's professional career began in 2023. with rising expectations and growing curiosity. Could this calm, untested Swede really hold his own among the world's best? In just his fourth professional start, he tied for fourth place at the John Deere Classic, and then, before he had even played in a single major, he received one of the most unexpected honors in modern golf, an invitation to represent Europe at the 2023 Ryder Cup. Captain Luke Donald's decision to pick Aberg was bold and unconventional. Some even called it reckless. But Donald saw something others hadn't. Paired with Victor Hovland in the foursomes, Ludvig delivered one of the most lopsided wins in Ryder Cup history, beating Scottie Scheffler and Brooks Koepka 9 and 7. And when it was over, Ludvig didn't gloat. He didn't celebrate like a rookie who just made history. He just nodded and walked off, cool and composed, as usual. 2 months later came his first PGA Tour victory. At the RSM Classic, Ludvig shot back-to-back 61s on the weekend, finished at 29 under par, and won by 4 strokes. That performance wasn't just a win. It launched him inside the top 50 in the world golf rankings and earned him his first invitation to the Masters tournament. So in April of 2024, Ludvig Aberg teed it up at Augusta National to make his major championship debut at the Masters. It's the kind of course built to expose weakness, to test even the most experienced players. But Ludvig didn't flinch. While others got caught in the moment, he looked like he belonged there all along. He finished second in his very first major start. Scottie Scheffler may have walked away with the green jacket, but Ludvig Aberg walked away with something just as significant: the full attention of the golfing world. His performance wasn't a fluke. It was calm, calculated, and composed. He didn't try to prove anything. He just played with the same control that's become his signature, and let his game speak louder than words. In early 2025, Ludvig picked up his second PGA Tour win at the Genesis Invitational, battling a tough field and colder than usual conditions at Torrey Pines. He held his nerve through the final round and finished on top. He also made the first hole-in-one of his professional career. The win earned him a $4 million paycheck and briefly pushed him to number 1 on the PGA Tour money list. But in classic Aberg fashion, no outbursts, no theatrics, just a quiet nod, a handshake, and a steady walk to scoring. People can't help but compare Ludvig with Tiger. Both experienced early dominance. Both look self-assured in their game. But while Tiger burned with fire, Ludvig glides with ice. Tiger's stare burned through you. Ludvig's doesn't need to. It just lingers, unreadable and unshaken. Tiger played like he wanted to conquer. Ludvig plays like he's solving a puzzle. And the best part? That puzzle isn't even close to finished. He's only 25, which means he hasn't even scratched the surface of his prime. And already, he's doing things many pros spend a lifetime chasing.